And so anyway, the CSA runs from about June to October and is a $50 buy-in per month, which is pretty good for a CSA around here, but yeah. So now I'm going to talk about a couple other things around Morven. In addition to the kitchen garden, Kluge built a Japanese garden and tea house out at Morven. It's like a $3 million Japanese garden. He imported a bunch of Japanese maples and materials from Japan and constructed this authentic tea house. It's really quite a sight to see. And so when you're out at Morven, whether it's for the kitchen garden or this summer institute that I'm going to talk about, that's a really big treat, a really big benefit from being out there, is that you get to see stuff like this, that it's really, you get to see the mind of this billionaire. In addition to the Japanese garden, there are historic formal gardens out at Morven, which are just breathtaking, especially in the spring. And these gardens are only open to the public once a year. So as a student out there, again, it would just be a great opportunity to see these historic formal gardens. Also, there's some beautiful architecture out at Morven. There are 4 of these really pretty horse barns. No horses currently. We're hoping to change that soon. We'd love to get some horses back at Morven, but there's actually a plan to either bring horses back to Morven or to convert these into a residential space. There are a lot of exciting changes happening at Morven, including this new Emerging Leaders program, which I don't know, is still in the planning process, but basically it would be bringing international students into Morven to talk about democracy and sustainability and a whole plethora of important topics. So now I'm going to talk about the Morven Summer Institute, which, have you guys heard at all? I guess you're all first semester, first year, so it would be a little early. The Morven Summer Institute obviously happens in the summer, and usually we start really advertising for it in the spring, which is the time when you'll be applying for it if you're interested. Like I said, it's a summer class program where you can earn 3 credits in 10 days, which, if you can imagine, a 3-credit class is your entire semester class, and we're pushing that into 10 days. So it's intensive, but it's out at Morven. A lot of your class time takes place outside, especially if you're doing one of the more like environmental science focused classes. So it's a really cool program. I took a class in the Summer Institute 2 summers ago, and that's how I really got involved with Morven, the kitchen garden and the Summer Institute, because when you're out there, you have a plentiful amount of opportunities to work in the garden and explore around Morven. The Summer Institute focuses on sustainability, design, food systems, and ecology, with interdisciplinary collaboration from several university departments, including the architectural department, the politics department with Paul Friedman, the environmental sciences department with Manuel Lerdow, and we're hoping this coming summer to get someone from potentially religious studies or a humanities teaching a course focused on sustainable agriculture or food systems or the human moral relationship to food. So there's a wide range of classes that go on out there. The basic premise for the Morven Summer Institute is education through interaction with the natural landscape. We really try to utilize where we are out there. And so I included the classes this is from last summer, so don't write down any dates or anything, but this gives you an idea of the type of classes that are offered at the Summer Institute. I took this Food and Nutrition in a Changing World class with Manuel Lerdow, and we were down in the kitchen garden every day looking at like natural herbicide, pesticide properties well, not herbicide, but pesticidal properties of herbs and a number of cool like organic gardening techniques and practices, and then in Paul Friedman teaches 2 classes. The first is the politics of food, where you talk about the politics around GMOs, around food labeling. You guys know how big food is in the world right now. I mean, obviously, how could it not be? But particularly right now, I'm sure you've heard of the controversy with SNAP benefits that's happening right now. As the government votes on the budget for next year, there is the potential to cut SNAP benefits to a number of US citizens. So anyway, he focuses on cool issues like that, and you really delve into the topic of food and food politics. And this farmers market and applied food systems research. How many of you have been to the Charlottesville farmers market? Oh, good, a lot of you guys. And how about just any farmers market? Doesn't have to be so almost everyone. So the cool thing about this class is last year it was coupled with an internship program around the whole Southern Virginia area. So we offer, if you take the class and are interested, you have a chance to have an internship with farmers markets in Blacksburg, Roanoke, Charlottesville, Lynchburg, and several other places, I think Harrisonburg. And typically these classes are pretty small. They're like 10 to 15 students, really. Last year they were a bit smaller, but so you'll get one-on-one time with these amazing professors, Paul, Manuel, and then Tanya, who co-teaches this farmers market and applied food systems research class with Professor Friedman, and she is from the Urban Environmental Planning Department. So she writes a lot about foodscapes and urban gardening, and she's a great professor to know and to connect with, because you might be interested in taking other of her courses in the architecture school. So I'll go over it. This just shows what the tuition is for the summer classes, and so it's about the same as taking a class throughout the semester, and then there are additional fees for being a summer class and also being taught out at Morven. But there are also opportunities through the summer programs office and UVA financial aid to get financial aid, and we are also we're in the process of trying to get money to provide a couple scholarships for next summer's students. So if that's an issue, please don't hesitate to still apply to the Summer Institute, because we can definitely make it work.